When Summer McIntosh broke 2 world records last year, she changed swimming forever. As children, serious swimmers swim 6 times a week or more. She swam 4 times. While many elite swimmers start training rigorously from ages 5 to 6, McIntosh was playing soccer, gymnastics, figure skating, horseback riding, and artistic swimming. During a physical education test called the beep test, McIntosh managed to scare the teacher so much that they had to stop the test. They were afraid she was going to collapse. Summer is very good at pushing her body, her mom Jill said. During practice, everyone starts to warm up slowly and then build up speed and effort. She starts at 100% effort and finishes cooldowns at 100% effort. While everyone focused on starts and turns and the small details, she focused on moving through the water the fastest for the longest time. While everyone sets goals, she said those are just limiting beliefs. I mean, who would set a goal of breaking 2 world records at the age of 16? While the average top 10 best swimmers of the 400 individual medley kept getting higher and higher, with swimmers like Katinka Hosu, Mireia Belmonte, Hallie Flickinger, Leah Smith, and Melanie Margales, all of them around 30 years of age or older, McIntosh reversed that tendency completely. When she broke the world record, she could have been some of her competitors' daughter. Her life events taught her an invaluable lesson from ages 7 to 14 that we can all apply to swimming and life in general. At age 7, McIntosh eventually narrowed her focus to figure skating and swimming. She probably could have been a great figure skater, but her decision to choose swimming over figure skating came after an epiphany following a fall during a figure skating competition where she still won. She stopped figure skating the very next day. From the start, this tells us 2 things. She is highly competitive, and she wants to win on her own terms, not by someone else's standards. She quickly became a very fast swimmer for her age, but she still didn't take swimming seriously until age 12. Her coach, Kevin Thorburn, who had an incredible impact on her, who believed in her future potential, suffered a sudden death. Less than a year later, her father was diagnosed with cancer. It was the only day she missed practice, said her mom in an interview. Her mom Jill was also an Olympic swimmer. Her dad has recovered since then. And this all happened during the pandemic. The events of her life would give many teenagers anxiety or depression. Instead of being distracted by these tragedies and bad news, she used them as fuel. A few days later, at the age of 14, she went into the Canadian Olympic trials alone, with her mom waiting in the parking lot because of COVID restrictions. She made it to the Olympics. At the Olympics, she made it to the semifinals and then to the finals. There, she just missed the podium by 1.5 seconds. A few months later, she became 2 times world champion. Then she broke 2 world records, all before turning 17 years old. She is by far the favorite to win the 400 individual medley at the Olympics this year in Paris. In this race, we decide who the best overall swimmer is. For many, this is the most painful swimming event there is. 100 meters of each stroke. If she wins at the Olympics and then retires, that would be an incredible swimming career. On this channel, we would say that she pushed the human limits all while having fun and doing it in a very unique manner. It really doesn't matter what she does for the rest of her life, but not everyone would think so. And it is very unlikely that she will stop after the Olympics. Female swimmers tend to peak on average at the age of 22 or 23, although it is very clear that the average age of the fastest swimmers in the world is indeed increasing. Most of the swimmers peak too early. They break age group records and the media starts going crazy, but they just never get better or they quit the sport altogether. This is what happened to most of my swimmer friends. Josh Liendo, a multiple world medalist and McIntosh teammate, thought that might happen to her. Sometimes you get those age group swimmers where, yeah, they're just really fast for their age, but you don't hear much about them after that. But now that we know what she is capable of, you might be wondering, how did she get to swim so fast? It has to do with the fact that she chose swimming after trying many things. She didn't pick it because it was what she was the best at. She says she was better at figure skating, but this gave her a chance to settle in the sport that best matched her temperament. And even if her mom represented Canada at the Olympics, it doesn't seem like she forced her daughters to swim. She developed a broad movement intelligence before focusing on swimming. This is what many athletes miss. In soccer, you develop leg coordination, speed, and mobility while controlling an object with your feet. Gymnastics is great for core and arm strength, flexibility, and rhythm, among many things. In figure skating, she developed balance, grace, leg explosiveness, and a deep mistrust for judges. In horseback riding, emotional awareness and control. Riders need to remain calm and patient, managing their emotions to ensure the horse stays calm and responsive. In artistic swimming, she developed a balance in the water, what we call thinking with your body, which is the second pillar of her swimming method. By the time she decided that swimming was her favorite sport, she was miles ahead of most swimmers. She is the best mover in the water that we have ever seen, even if she thinks that she has bad turns. I was so pumped by her achievements while writing this story that I decided to swim my first 400 IM of my life. In practice, with no mental or physical preparation whatsoever. I just wanted to finish it. I'll tell you my time at the end of this video, but if you're really motivated like me, please try it next time you go swimming. In the interview with Brett Hawk, McIntosh said that when she swims, she's just an autopilot. She doesn't focus on a lot of things. Some of the things she mentioned that she consciously thinks of are her kick, her arm strength, and her breath control. 3 of the 5 things I consider to be the pillars of swimming. She also said that one of her weaknesses is the small details. This proves my point that to be great, you don't need to obsess over the small things. It is more productive to obsess over the 5 pillars of swimming and then dedicate a smaller amount of that time to small details. I think what makes her great and will make her even greater is that she has no big expectations. As Morgan Housel writes, happiness is results minus expectations. Her results are incredible. Even if the media has high expectations, her expectations are low from what I can tell. At least they were before she became a star. As for me, this was my official time. If I was 90 years old, I could have broken the record. If you want to understand the 5 pillars of swimming, click on this video. If you want to know how McIntosh teammate Maggie McNeil uses underwater swimming better than anyone else, click on this video. See you there. Swim fast.